up on Cronkite News tonight, the role of mandates and the debate on masks in Arizona continues.
Plus, a look at the new Pfizer booster shot and how healthcare officials are responding to the announcement.
And later on Break It Down, we discuss why diversity is critical in journalism.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Erin Slindy.
And I'm Gianluca D'Elia. Thank you for joining us.
The CDC recently updated their guidelines for K-12 schools in the fall. Students, teachers, and staff are highly recommended to wear masks regardless of their vaccination status. Arizona has laws banning schools to mandate masks. Faith Abercrombie talked to health officials about what Arizona's next steps are.
In Arizona, state laws prevent mask mandates and vaccine requirements, but new guidance from the CDC along with the American Academy of Pediatrics now recommends masks even for those vaccinated. The governor responded in a statement that reads in part, "This is just another example of the Biden-Harris administration's inability to effectively confront the COVID-19 pandemic. Public health officials in Arizona and across the country have made it clear that the best protection against COVID-19 is the vaccine." Today's announcement by the CDC will unfortunately only diminish confidence in the vaccine and create more challenges for public health officials. The Arizona Department of Health Services said they are changing their guidelines to match the CDC's recommendations, including everyone needs to wear a mask and practice socially distancing indoors regardless of vaccination status. Same deal with students, teachers, staff, and visitors at schools. But that's a recommendation, not a requirement.
It's really just up to the parents, if they're K-5, to just really talk to their kids honestly and seriously about the importance of wearing a mask in the classroom. The challenging thing, I think, is going to be, and parents need to know this, that if you've got a classroom of 30 kids, there's a decent chance that only 3 kids are going to be wearing a mask.
Superintendent Kathy Hoffman released this statement that calls for Governor Ducey to follow the guidance of public health experts and to allow schools to make local decision-making policies. Hoffman also wrote an open letter to Arizona educators encouraging eligible public school staff and students to get vaccinated and to wear a mask.
It's called locum parentis, and what it means is that the school is responsible for the health and safety of kids when they're on campus. And you could make a legal argument that with the restriction that the governor and director Christ put in place on school districts, preventing them from having a mask requirement on campus prevents schools from being able to protect the health and safety of kids.
And because of state law, vaccines cannot be required to attend class, but federal workers may also have to get a vaccine or submit to testing. President Joe Biden is expected to make that announcement tomorrow.
What we learn about this virus and the Delta variation, the more we have to be worried and concerned. And then only one thing we know for sure, if those other 100 million people got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world.
In Phoenix, Faith Abercrombie, Cronkite News.
The governor announced this morning Dr. Kara Christ is leaving the Arizona Department of Health to take a job as the chief medical officer at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. Her last day will be August 27th.
The Pima County Health Department held a virtual briefing on the new CDC guidelines this morning, and they gave updates on their plans moving forward during the school year. COVID-19 cases are increasing in the county. CDC numbers show a daily average of 97 cases and a 69% increase over the last 2 weeks. This makes Pima County a substantial transmission area. Health experts think this area can become a high transmission area sometime in the near future. A big concern for health officials in Pima County is going back to school. Since July 20th, 56 cases were reported in schools, and in the last 8 days, there were 8 outbreaks in the school district. Pima County Health Director Teresa Cullen says their advisory will not include a mask mandate, but a recommendation.
We strongly recommend that all Pima County residents, including those fully vaccinated, wear masks in public indoor settings. This is consistent with the wording you heard from the CDC yesterday. In addition, we are strongly recommending all teachers, staff, and students, visitors to K-12 schools wear masks indoors, regardless of vaccination status.
They've had an increase in pediatric hospital visits due to the virus, and they anticipate that 5 to 10% of the cases they're seeing will be due to schools. This is an increase from last year when only 4% of cases were from children in K-12 schools. Cullen says they work closely with the schools for contact tracing and collecting data to make sure they're being as safe as possible. She hopes to keep the community healthy and schools open.
Pfizer announced they have promising data related to a coronavirus vaccine booster. The company says it will apply for emergency use authorization for a third shot in the near future. Researchers say a booster shot 6 to 12 months after full vaccination is likely to provide the highest level of protection, especially against the highly contagious Delta variant. Studies show antibody levels in people from 18 through 55 who get that third shot are 5 times higher. And for those ages 65 to 85, antibody levels are 11 times higher. The U.S. Surgeon General say people do not need to go out and get a booster shot. The decision on the need for a third shot will be made by the CDC and the FDA once more information has been gathered.
Walmart is expanding its incentive program for workers who want to go to college. The company will now pay full tuition costs for staffers attending 10 academic partner schools. The University of Arizona is among those partners. Workers in the program were previously charged a $1 a day fee to have tuition covered. Walmart now says it's dropping that fee, and it will also cover the cost of books. Both part-time and full-time employees are eligible for the program.
Whether it is to hike, raft, or just take photos, millions of visitors flock to Grand Canyon National Park, but environmental groups warn of the impact of the human footprint on the park. Tina Giuliano spoke with officials about what people can do to preserve the park.
The terrain is rough and at times dangerous, but the view is unmatched.
The Grand Canyon is a beautiful place. It's an amazing place to hike.
There's a lot happening in the canyon, from incoming hikers to wildlife.
We definitely have a complex goal ahead of us, protecting one of the wonders of the world.
Most visitors don't realize that a place as massive and immovable as Grand Canyon can be easily destroyed by the human footprint. Allison Gitlin of the Sierra Club's Grand Canyon chapter says.
Your footprints might be what is the difference between a vegetated landscape and bare ground.
Conservation groups are calling on Arizona officials to protect the park like their push to close the Pinyon Plain mine, a uranium mine with a history of flooding.
There's legislation pending in Congress, passed the House, it's pending now in the Senate, that would prevent mining in and near the canyon.
For those springs that have very low flow, if they become depleted or if they become contaminated, the wildlife that depends on them as well as the hikers are going to be put in danger.
Mining and proposals for developments are something that officials at the park are constantly fighting against.
It's true, everybody wants to make a buck off of Grand Canyon.
But mining and proposals aren't the only way humans impact the park. It can be something as simple as trash.
This is Bright Angel Trail, and usually it sees millions of visitors each year. But no matter the amount of visitors, they bring things that don't belong. That's why the recommendation is to pack in and pack out.
The trash is one of the most noticeable ways that visitors do impact Grand Canyon.
The park officials emphasize the importance of the leave no trace.
Make sure that they bring everything out of the canyon that they brought with them.
While the Grand Canyon and the area around it is constantly evolving, there's a reason people come here.
I am looking out on an area where I don't see a light or a house. I don't see a rooftop.
And that reason is its best defense.
And we need to realize that this is one of those last best places, and we need to protect it.
At the Grand Canyon, Tina Giuliano, Cronkite News.
Power lines, aircraft, mining are just some of the ways that industrialize a landscape. Gillen says that for the Grand Canyon, that would be fundamentally changing the view of the experience and the park's ecosystem.
There's a few clouds in the sky around the valley, but those warm temperatures won't go away. Let's go to Osama Awadallah in the Weather Center for the forecast.
Welcome to the Cronkite News Weather Center here in Phoenix. I have a quick look here at our future cast, especially since we experienced some showers up north today. We do expect some of that monsoon activity to kick back up tomorrow, especially in northern and southern Arizona. And by Friday, we are going to be seeing some scattered showers across the state. Here's a look at our highs for tomorrow. There should be a 104 here in Phoenix. Highest is going to be down in Yuma at 113, 112 up in Bullhead City, 81 degrees out in the Grand Canyon, 95 degrees in Page, 76 in Flagstaff, and 95 degrees in Tucson. Here's a quick look at the evening planner. We're looking at 103 degrees at 6 p.m. and we should start to see mostly clear skies by 10 p.m. and about 95-degree weather. So that's what we're looking for tonight. Quick look at our PBS 8-day forecast. We're looking at 104 tomorrow, 100 Friday, 97 on Saturday. And as far as the rest of the week is concerned, should be triple digits the rest of the way. 101, 104, 106, 105, and 104 on Thursday. From the Cronkite News Weather Center here in Phoenix, Osama Awadallah.
I'm Harrison Klopp. Coming up after the break, all of your Cronkite Sports Report, including some water safety tips that might help save your life.
He was bigger than boxing.
I am the greatest.
He was larger than life.
His magnetism just was amazing. Who is this guy?
He was a revolutionary. He was a groundbreaker.
Well, ain't nobody gonna stop me.
Ken Burns captures an intimate story of victory, defeat, and determination.
The price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
Muhammad Ali.
Coming in September to Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
By the year 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Before Professor Halden, I had an insane amount of passion, but I almost felt helpless because I didn't know how to use it. Professor Halden gave me a chance to make a difference. Being at a place like ASU allows you to take these big leaps. Ultimately, the biggest problems in the world cannot be solved alone.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Harrison Klopp, and this is your Cronkite Sports Report. Child drownings are a serious problem here in Arizona. According to the Phoenix Fire Department, there have already been 24 child drowning incidents this year with 2 fatalities. But one ASU professor, with the help of Michael Phelps, is working to prevent these tragedies in the future. Cronkite News reporter Emily Carmen tells us about an ASU water safety program and what advice it gives to keep kids safe around the water.
Every year, summer vacation and intense heat drive many children out to the pool. But more kids in the water means a higher risk of drowning incidents, which gives experts like Diana Bowman a cause for concern. When she first moved to Arizona, she noticed that many people owned a pool.
And I got curious about what did this mean in terms of drowning rates here in Arizona.
and very quickly discovered that we had the second highest fatality rate in the country, which is twice the national average.
This is why Dr. Bowman created the ASU Water Safety Initiative, which was recently backed by Michael Phelps and the Michael Phelps Foundation.
Michael is such a big name that generally what he puts out, people are following. So we were really happy to jump on board and help kind of push the word out.
Though drowning is a serious issue, the Water Safety Initiative is not meant to scare children or parents away from the water.
It was around how do you create a fun and safe environment for children that brings them to the water, that makes them want to swim, but does so in a way that caregivers understand what those risks are.
Swimming is a vital skill that not only keeps children safe, but opens the doorway for a multitude of activities like diving or boating. That's why Dr. Bowman and the Michael Phelps Foundation encourage parents to teach their kids how to swim as early as possible.
I would definitely recommend all parents to bring their young kids so they learn a lot of primary survival skills. Pool safety, that's survival in the water.
The water safety program encourages caregivers to take other precautions as well, like placing barriers around the pool, putting kids in certified life jackets, but most importantly,
there is no substitute for parental or caregiver supervision, and you need to have your eyes on children all the time.
Dr. Bowman and the Phelps Foundation hope the Water Safety Initiative will spread worldwide and will help prevent many drownings in the future. In Phoenix, Emily Carmen, Cronkite News.
Educational material from the Water Safety Initiative has been provided to pediatric offices throughout the valley. Be sure to speak with your primary health care physician for more information. The Pac-12 kicked off football season yesterday with Media Day. This will be the first season that student athletes will be able to profit off their name, image, and likeness. Arizona State head coach Herm Edwards believes universities will have to adapt to the rule change to bring in recruits.
I think this is part of the recruiting of it now, and you better embrace it, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And that's the thing that we learn in life, that things move on, and you have to be ahead of it. And I think we've got to plan how to do that.
That's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Aaron and John Luca.
And that's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thank you for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.